Vid. I'm you with Tacitus today at your Pushback channel, and thank you for joining this radio live stream. In this essay, I'd like to talk about something I came across accidentally, which is a game show from America in the 1950s, and it was very different from what you see today, and I suppose when you look at, say, something like the Jerry Springer Show or Oprah or Sally Jesse Raphael or any of those, and others like it, you see this steady parade of really stupid and damaged, low IQ, fucked up people, and it seems to me that these very damaged, low IQ people are then put out on stage for the amusement of other damaged and dumb people. And it's hard to imagine that's entertainment. I remember the Jerry Springer Show used to rate its socks off. It was a top rating show, made Jerry Springer a lot of money. And you sort of can't believe that those people exist. The ones that are on a show, these people exist. They're and why they would agree to go on the show and be humiliated like that in front of so many millions of people. But maybe they got paid or something. I don't know. But the thing about it is that they're typically very ill-mannered, vulgar, uncouth, stupid, and they've lived life at the bottom end of the worst trailer park in the country, and that's the sort of existence they've had. And then they're brought on the Jerry Springer Show to be provoked, and every sort of question or exercise a person has brought out is just another cat's paw to try and provoke them, and it was difficult to believe that shows like that would exist, but they did, and again they did rather well with the ratings. So when I was just going through some other, looking for some other vids, and because the screen jumped as it loaded, I ended up accidentally clicking on one of these American quiz or game shows, call it what you will, from I think it was 1956, and the people were all very well dressed. They were very smart. They were well spoken. They were quick-witted. They were sharp. There was a sense of purpose about them in the way they looked. And now I can't imagine people who were, executives or whatever, or people doing quite well for themselves. Maybe the novelty of television at the time would have attracted them, but I can't imagine those people wanting to go on those shows. I can't sort of think what the attraction might have been, but they were all, as I say, very well spoken, quick-witted, sharp. Seemed like they were well educated, certainly well dressed, very polite, very sensible, very reasonable people, very clear-headed, and so on. None of them looked like they'd had too much to drink, or they'd been shooting up out the back, or they had crack pipes in their pockets or something. None of them had even the slightest look like that. Whereas today, it's quite different. So I sort of, two thoughts crossed my mind. Were people much smarter back then? And remember, not many people were going to college at the time. So there are 20 times more people going to college these days. So it's an education, assuming education is the issue here, it was an education that they would have got in high school and senior high school. And you're back in the time, finishing senior high school was considered then as being highly educated. Most people, not all, but most people left in the ninth year of education, like the third year of high school, and went off and got a job, got an apprenticeship or something like that. So if you finished junior high school and got your graduation certificate there, and then went on to senior high school and got your graduate certificate from senior high school, you're considered as well educated. Many employers would pay you an extra few dollars a week just for having a completed senior high school. That's how it was considered back in the day. So very few people went to university then, or far fewer than now. So I don't think those are the women as well. I don't think they would have been to university, but they were all very well spoken and that sense of that look of being reasonable and sensible, very solid middle class. They were paying off their house. They're concerned about their kids. They wanted their kids to go to college. They just had that look and feel about them. Now it could be that the producers of the show, sort of their instructions out to the talent scouts is, look, we only want well-spoken, sensible, well-dressed, well-turned-out people. We want people who are sharp and quick and quick-minded and quick studies, and that, we want those sort of. But we don't want no bums. And maybe that was the instruction they got. Whereas today, the producers and whatnot are saying, hey, give me the biggest, dumbest, most ridiculous, stupid-looking bums you can fucking find, and bring them in. That's what the people want. They want to see dumbass, stupid folks. So maybe it's that. I don't know. But given that Americans today are much better educated than at any time in United States history, there are more people running around, having completed senior high school with college degrees. There are more people running around with masters and PhDs than ever before, by far. This is not just by small amounts. By far, there are more people like this. And yet somehow only the biggest morons can end up on these shows. Now, sometimes on these, I saw one show where the person seemed like they're an absolute moron idiot, and yet they said they had a master's in or some bullshit thing, peace studies, or something that interpretive dance or whatever, the things that no one ever fails, and where everyone gets a degree and a big college debt. And you think, well, how did that fucking moron get to college? But we're in an era of affirmative action and quotas and that sort of stuff, which didn't exist back then. So merit was still considered the way society should be ordered. And if you were bright and if you were fit and if you worked hard and studied hard and prepared to be prudent and sensible with how you spent your money, that sort of thing, you could do quite well for yourself back in that, fact, very well in some cases for yourself. But that's changed. The purchasing power of the paycheck's gone down the gurgler, and it's a different sort of world today. But that difference, go yourself on YouTube and just have a look at those 1950 shows. That all the people that you see seem like fucking geniuses compared to what you see on not just on the TV today, in the equivalent shows, but even just people around you. You've been a Tacitus today at your Pushback channel, and thank you for listening.